We all love to visit our favorite Cedar Point amusement park, but we also all know how expensive it truly can be to not only visit the park, but stay a few nights at the property. So stay tuned and keep watching because I'm going to share some tips and tricks in this video for you on how to save money your next trip to Cedar Point. Number 1, do not stay at a Cedar Point property. We all have heard of Hotel Breakers. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's historic, it's right on the beach. But you're gonna pay an arm and a leg and possibly even your firstborn to be able to stay here. I will be the first to admit that if you want the full experience of Cedar Point, this is really the hotel you want to stay in. Or if you're only coming once and want to splurge on, what you're spending, then by all means, please stay here. But if you're going to have a season pass and come a few times, it's going to get really expensive. And there's a ton of options right off the causeway that you can stay in for a much, much cheaper price. Hotel Breakers will run you anywhere from $400 to $1,000 a night, depending on what room you stay in. And that could get really pricey, especially if you're there for a whole weekend. There's a ton of beautiful hotels right off the causeway that'll only charge you anywhere from $89 to $150 a night, which is much, much more reasonable. It's basically a normal hotel price. And it's only 5 minutes from the park and has all the accommodations. The hotel on the screen right now, this Comfort Inn, is actually our favorite hotel we have found. The staff are really friendly. The rooms are always really clean. It's a very reasonable price. They have a restaurant in the hotel. They also have a pool with a bar right next to it, which we really like because we feel like we're getting that Cedar Point vibe without the Cedar Point price. Another option for you to stay cheap would be an Airbnb. If you didn't watch How to Bring Your Pets to Cedar Point, my last video, then go ahead and go check that out. But you wouldn't know that we have recently fallen in love with Airbnb because it's a way to travel with your pets. Now, not every Airbnb allows for pets, so you got to make sure that you read the house rules and know what's expected of your stay. But this can be a great way to travel. You can rent anything from a single room to the entire house, so it just depends on what needs you have. It is more expensive, obviously, to rent an entire house, but I can guarantee you it's not as expensive as a stay at Hotel Breakers, or if it is, it depends on the house. I mean, some of them are pretty pricey if they're right on Lake Erie or have a Cedar Point view. You're getting a lot more bang for your buck with this. If you're like us and spend the majority of your time at the park, then if you're willing to just rent a room, I've seen rooms as cheap as $49 per night on Airbnb. Really, you're just sharing your room and the bathroom and the common areas with the host. And every host that we have had is super friendly, super accommodating. They try to stay out of your way. And if you're going to be at the park most of the time anyway, it's really worth it just to rent a cheap room. And that way you're saving money and can enjoy the park without paying an arm and a leg. Number 2, buy your tickets before the season and park open. Currently, at Cedar Point, ticket prices are as cheap as they have been in almost 10 years. You can tell really how much they need people to come in because of the pandemic. And buying your tickets online is going to save you around $20. So if you buy it before the park, it's not only going to save you money, but it's also going to save you time because you don't have to wait in that huge line when you get to the park to buy your tickets. You're just going to be able to walk right in and start enjoying the park. Also, buy your season passes early because they do also give you a discount. And don't forget about buying parking tickets online. You can actually save $5 a parking ticket before you go if you do buy it on their website. Number 3, only bring items you can fit in your zipper pockets. We actually plan our outfits to make sure that we have at least 2 pockets with a zipper when going to Cedar Point. And I can't emphasize zipper enough because you do not want to be on a ride with just an open pocket. Your items will fly out, you're going to lose your cell phone, and you're going to possibly injure somebody or stop the ride. Cedar Point has done away with all of their storage boxes. If you guys went back, even 5 years ago, they had a ton of those wooden boxes that were numbered that you could stick your backpack in right before the ride. But I'm pretty sure that they thought that it was slowing down their ride. I mean, I'm sure it does because people have to climb over the seats and put their items in the box and then climb back into the seats and get buckled in. So they've been able to cut down on the ride times and get more rides in by doing away with these boxes. Visitors then went to wearing a fanny pack. I know personally, me and my husband for a few years have worn a fanny pack. It's convenient, you don't have to actually carry it. It clips onto you. It's lightweight. You can fit it on the ride. The lap bar will go over it and no problem. But they last year started cracking down and said no fanny packs on the major roller coasters. That includes Steel Vengeance. I don't know if they were having issues with people's fanny packs flying off, or I don't really know because we never had an issue with it, but they are not allowing for that anymore. So now your only choice is to buy a locker if you do have a fanny pack or a backpack. When we were there 2 summers ago, we haven't been able to go since because of the pandemic. A locker was anywhere from $8 to $10, and I think it was for a 3 or 4 hour period. And then every 3 to 4 hours, you would have to renew the locker for another $8 to $10. So if you stayed a full day, you could spend up to $50 on just storing your bag that could have easily been left in your car for free. So by just wearing something as simple as a zipper pocket, you can easily fit one of those mini sunscreens, your wallet, and your phone, which is everything that you would really need to operate around the park. And you can ride the rides without having to buy an expensive locker, and then just run back to your car anytime you need anything, and that will save you up to $50 per visit. If you are someone who has a disability or you need some type of medication with you, like if you're diabetic and you need to keep your insulin on you, or maybe you're anemic and you need to have iron tablets with you just in case, then I wanted to let you guys know that if you have any type of medical condition where you need to have a bag with you, you can visit any of the first aid stations in the park and ask for a medical tag. So this medical tag will go onto your backpack or your fanny pack and let ride operations and park associates know that you have to have this bag with you. There's no way that you can put it in a locker or be without it. And they will actually have a safe space for that on the platform for you on the ride. Number 4, do not buy your water. There's a ton of water machines sprinkled throughout the park. They're even in the ride lines because they know that you're going to be thirsty and you're going to be hot and you're going to need water. But the problem is that these vending machines charge around $7 to $9 for one bottle of water. I love you, Cedar Point. I know you got bills to pay. I know you got to make some money. But come on, you could literally buy 10 packages of 32 bottles of water for that price. So here's a tip for you if you really need to get your thirst quenched. Any of these Cedar Point stands or restaurants will give you a cup of ice cold water for free because they don't want you passing out in the park. They don't want a lawsuit for heat stroke. So they actually do give you a glass of water. So all you got to do is walk up to one of these stands and ask for it, and they will give you one. You're already having to walk through the park to get from ride to ride. And so just make it a thing that every ride you get off, just stop and ask for a cup of water. That way you're staying hydrated throughout the day and you're not paying a ton of money for just one bottle of water. Number 5, bring your own lunch. I know it's a lot of fun to eat at TGI Fridays because you're right on the beach, or even grab that chili cheese dog throughout the park. But by packing your lunch, you're going to be saving anywhere from $50 to $200 depending on how big your family is. And it's going to give you a break from the heat. You can walk back to your car. You can sit in the shade. You can save yourself a ton of money and just have a nice family picnic. Way cheaper than anything you can buy at the park. Number 6, take your own pictures. I know it's really tempting when you first walk into Cedar Point. Maybe it's your first trip. You have the kiddos with you, or you just have your friends, and they have all the cute Charlie Brown characters standing at the front gate. And there's a picture person standing right there, conveniently ready to snap your fun family photo. What they don't tell you is they're going to charge you $55 later to put it in a nice frame for you. Now, they also don't tell you that after they take your picture, you're more than welcome to stand there with your phone or your own camera and take a picture of your kids having fun. So the answer is to just sit there, smile, let them take your photo, and then use your own device to take it, and that's going to save you $55, and you will be able to capture that memory, have it forever, print it off yourself, and put it in a frame way cheaper than what the park will do it for you. Number 7, do not bring a crowd. I know a lot of you like to bring your entire family to Cedar Point, but this tip is really if you want to get the maximum rides in for your ticket price. We brought our entire wedding party. We did our bachelorette party at Cedar Point. And to be completely honest with you, it wasn't a ton of fun because we would get going, we'd finally get into a ride line and someone got hungry or someone had to go to the bathroom, and it really just slowed us down. And we found that when it's just the two of us, we can maximize ride time, we ride a lot more and with a lot less interruptions. So if you want to get the most out of your ticket and ride the most rides possible, I would suggest bringing no more than a group of 4 people. Or split your group up and go to separate rides 4 at a time. Number 8, buy a fast pass during peak season. Now this tip might seem like you're spending more money considering a fast pass is pretty expensive. But again, this tip is for those who want to get the maximum number of rides for the amount that they paid to get into the park. There has been times that me and my husband have visited the park and it was just the two of us and we were only able to ride 2 or 3 rides because the lines were so long. So by buying the fast pass, you're going to be able to skip the majority of the line, and instead of 2 or 3 rides, you might be able to get anywhere from 5 to 8 rides in because you're jumping that ride time. If your entire goal is to obviously ride as many rides as you can, I think the fast pass in the end per ride saves you time and saves you money. That is all of these Cedar Point money saving tips I have for you guys. Comment down below if I missed anything or if these tips are helpful. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And that is it for Cedar Point Mom today. Ride warriors, ride on.